Greg Martin joins us again, and Marto, I got to pull you up on something, mate. Okay, I mean, we're two grown men. We're men in our 50s. When you text another man in his 50s, you don't use the K, you know? And Lachlan's guffawing in the background here. He's a young man. Come on, get into the 25th
Does he
century.
use the K?
You don't use the K. What do you use, Lachlan, these days? You don't... You subs. Dog. Chill. Okay, so...
There's no okay.
There's no okay. You don't use a K, mate. Come on.
Mate, I saw my son, who's 24 years old, a carpenter, a surfer, he's got dreadlocks. He uses K, and I figured that must mean it's cool, and I thought I'd give it a run with you.
Unfortunately, there's nothing about what either of us do these days which is cool. I'm sorry, mate. I'm sorry for telling you.
Yes, I know.
Sorry for telling you, mate. Hey, I want to talk about your daughter's 26th birthday in a little bit, but let's kick it with some of the stuff you've been doing. And I got told this yesterday, people. Greg was telling me some of the crazy stunts that they've been doing on the radio show all week to get people to support the Dolphins and to get tickets to the games. This sounds brilliant, mate.
Well, the Dolphins, of course, I've told you before, we're their radio station, and they said, hey, listen, can we do this? And, of course, we went, oh, yeah, sounds all right. Not really thinking too much. So what you got to do, you got to hand in your NRL jersey of another club, and they're going to update you. The Storm play the Dolphins tomorrow night. You get VIP room, like right next to the commentary boxes, these great corporate suites. Free night in there, just on the drink and food, and you get a free Dolphins outfit and membership to the Dolphins if you sacrifice an NRL jersey of another club. And they came at us, mate, everybody, because years ago, everyone had other clubs, and now they're either Broncos or now they're Dolphins here in Brisbane. There's, 3 million people around this area. So they came at us. There was one woman, she's had her cotton Parramatta jersey since the 80s when they were winning premierships. They won 3 premierships in the 80s. She turned up. There was a bloke with his St George jersey. There was a guy with, he had a Raiders tattoo over his whole shoulder. And he gave us his Raiders training jersey, socks, shorts, everything. He said, I've had a gut full of these blokes. I want to be a Dolphin. And so we used a wood chipper. So we got these blokes out in the suburbs of Brisbane. He was another listener. He said, I'll donate the wood chipper. So we tied them to logs and put them through the wood chipper. And then instead of the chipping going into the truck, as you understand, the wood chips go into the truck and then they go and distribute them. They went out on the footpath and we made them clean it up, and then we presented them with Dolphins gear. There was one guy got a flamethrower onto his jersey, poured petrol on it, and then had a flamethrower, and that's how he destroyed his jersey. There was another dude got a Balmain West Tigers jersey, and he did burnouts on it. So rugby league is such a wonderful game. Yes. So they're all new Dolphins members. So that's what you want, your team being surrounded by people who destroy jerseys. That's the sort of passion. I wish Australian rugby had that sort of passion.
Did any of them have teeth? Any of these people that turned up with the wood chipper and the flamethrower, did they have their own teeth?
Oh, some of them were dentist fitted, retrofit, but no, not the ones they were born with. No, life can be disappointing as a radio star, Marty. When you meet your fans, you go, wow. That's who's listening. Wow. Yeah, that's I'm going to have to lower the tone.
Yeah, these are who love me. What does that say about me? I used to think that all the time too, mate. The Reds beat the Chiefs last weekend. We got a big debate going on here about bloody Super Rugby sides resting players and are they tanking matches and things. What did that tell you, mate? I mean, that was an extraordinary win, and it was a courageous last stand. All of that. Played in the weirdest stadium, which didn't have a stand on one side. It looked like a carp. It looked worse than the Crusaders stadium. Is it a pointer that perhaps the Wallabies are going to be better at the World Cup than what we're giving them credit for, that win?
Oh, God, don't. You have taken a quantum leap that I would take. I can't believe you've jumped there first. No, it's not. It was just a bunch of guys, and this happened in footy. They disrespected the Reds, and the Reds went over there and said, bugger this. Anything's possible, not really believing, because that's probably what the Reds have been saying every game. And finally, they tackled like mongrel dogs. So they had to go an extra, 2.5 minutes after full time, and the Reds held on. I couldn't believe it. No one in Brisbane or Queensland could believe it. We're making the best of it. Thank you. Allow us to win one occasionally, because that really cheered up rugby in this state, and there'll be a fair few people who watch the Blues, what's that, tonight at Suncorp. But that was incredible. I think they did it for Thorny, mate. I think they did it for Thorny.
No, I mean, really though, does a win like that, just in terms of Brisbane and the sporting market, I mean, does it front page it? Is all of a sudden people talking about rugby or not? No. Okay.
No.
Right.
But the girl I work with, of course, she's Corey Parker, former Broncos. On air with Corey Parker's wife.
Well, she has a name, Greg. What's her name? She has a name.
Margot. Well, she never played for the Broncos, mate, as a reminder.
Yeah, good point.
Yes, she reminds me I had sex with him a lot. Or still do, whatever.
He is the husband and the father of the 4 children. Let's hope so.
4 children, it's time to keep them, legs crossed a bit, but I tell her that too. But listen, she, what we were saying, she always says, "Why don't you talk about the Reds more? Why don't you talk about the Reds?" I said, "Because it's not a good thing." So this week we actually spoke about the Reds on occasion. We had Tate McDermott on today because they're on the nose, mate. You've got to go where the strength is. And this is the greatest season, in my mind, and I think there's plenty of people who would say it, it's the greatest season of rugby league ever. So we've been cashing in on that. If the Reds win, we talk about them. And the Brisbane Lions, guys don't get AFL, but they're winning too. So it's the first time in, I think it's 13 seasons that the Broncos and the Lions are both at the top of their table. So we're talking more AFL.
Oh, hang on, you pull back on the Broncos. Pull back. They lost last night again, mate. That's the 4th loss, and they've lost the 3 good teams.
Yeah, but they were top of the table.
They were top of the table. Yeah, right. So yeah.
I know it's starting. It's starting to get desperate because they lost 3 out of 4. They've lost 3 out of their last 4, but they've been playing the top of the table teams, so they'll be all right.
The Israel Folau doco last night. You stayed up late. Tell me you didn't.
You did not. I didn't.
I didn't, mate. No.
Stuff it. That's yesterday's news. I can't believe the ABC who made it, they held on to it for a year. Like, I wasn't going to watch it last year. I'm less chance of watching it now. Did you hear where he might be going to play for Tonga at the
World Cup? Yeah, he's playing second division, I think, in Japan or something. I was told now. Christy Doran told us that earlier in the show, and now he might be playing at the Rugby World Cup. Yeah, I do wonder about these kind of things. I mean, is it you are ripping the sticking plaster off, aren't you?
Well, I don't care. Who would have watched that? Like, is it people who want to hate him? Are they watching it? Because there'd be nothing. Well, no, I shouldn't say it without watching it. I just believe there'd be nothing positive there and nothing to go for. Why would I waste my life?
All right, finally, the daughter's 26th birthday, and we have followed the saga.
No, 25th.
25th.
No, yeah,
okay, 25th. I'm sorry, I apologise in advance, but we've been following the saga over the last few weeks where you finish, you get up at 3, 2, 1, and then you finish your radio show. You've got other things to do. You always, when you finish your breakfast radio show, people have to go and meet your content director or your program tosser or what other stupid title they get given, and some guy asks you all these inane questions about, hey, why didn't you do a bit with that, or that was good, or that could have, and you're just sitting there going, you've never been on air, you dickhead. And you got to go through all of those meetings, right? And then after that, then it's like, then you got to go get the pickup truck, and then you got to get your tools, and then you got to go and cut a tree down, build a fence, and everything else. For God's sake, mate, what more did she want from you?
Well, I love her. She's my flesh and blood, and if she wants me to do $100,000 of carpentry for free, that's
right.
Yes, I'm off there. Very shortly. She said, "Dad, you still haven't finished this and that." I said, "Hold on, I've got other people who need work done." Yeah, what the things you do for your children, mate.
Do you get told by Mrs. Martin, like, if this was ever a question that came up and you said, hey, look, hon, I don't really want to, and you just get that cold stare from here, Greg, what are you saying? You're not going to help your daughter out. What are you saying?
No, actually, my wife's a separate. She said, stop working for her. Because the problem is, my wife gets the bloke who gets out of bed at 3 o'clock and then goes and becomes a carpenter in the afternoon. She gets I'm unbelievably tired, Marlo, in the evening, and she goes, well, stop doing it, you old stupid old codger. I think that's what she's calling me these days.
Right.
Anyway, you never learn. You don't get any smarter. I just shake my head and go, can't believe you.
Another day, another dollar, and another step closer to the grave, my old man used to say.
Oh, Jesus, what a joy he was.
Rest in peace, the old dude, yeah.
Oh, Christ.
There's got to be more to life. Greg, thanks as always, mate.
Cheers, mate.